to true crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. Yes. I'm feeling good, baby. You guys know I've been sick for the last couple of days, but I'm feeling much better. My voice is still not back 100%, as you can hear. I'm still straining a little bit, but I'm here and I'm ready to rock and roll, and I definitely got energy for you guys today because we got a lot to talk about today. This story with D4VD, D4VD, whatever. It's really getting crazy. This investigation is getting some legs underneath it. We're going to talk about some of the new investigative developments. We're going to talk about some of the ancillary people, the people that are around this young woman who was failed. She was definitely failed, man. We're going to talk about her teacher basically spilling all the tea. And now listen, when I listened to this teacher talk, at first I was like, yo, this is terrible, right? People say, just say David. No, I don't want to say David because that, I don't know. I want to say D4VD. Forget about this guy. I'm not calling him David. Screw David. You're right. I'll just say David. Anyway, so the teacher, when first talking about this David situation, they were like, I was like, why are they telling his classes? Like, is he saying this for clout? But it turns out that the teacher was actually using this as a cautionary tale to basically educate his students about meeting people off the internet. But we're going to get into all of that. We got a lot of information. A lot of great YouTubers are covering this as well. We're going to be pulling from a lot of different sources. So big shout out to everybody who's joining me today. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Let's give you guys a good yay. Yes. You guys deserve it. You guys are amazing. Quick housekeeping thing. I'm not going to be dropping as much videos as I usually drop this week because I've been pulled to do a special detail this week, which is going to be monopolizing the majority of my time. For those of you who don't know, you're new to the channel, I'm True Crime with Strategic Eyes. I am an active duty detective. So this is what I do in my free time. Today is my day off. Tomorrow's also my day off, but tomorrow I have to start working that special detail, so they're taking my day off. I can't tell you guys what it is. It's confidential, but it is an opportunity to make a lot of overtime, and, you know, I kind of got voluntold to do it, so I don't have a choice. So just know that it's going to be 15 to 16-hour days with no days off until that detail is over. So that being said, I will maybe be able to make one or two videos in the week coming up, and we'll definitely do one when we can, but it's going to be very difficult to do videos and at the same time contend with that grueling work schedule that I'm going to have for the next week and a half. So that being said, we're going to make this one good, right? We're going to make this one good, give you guys some probative information, and show you guys some love. Lastly, before we get started, we need you guys to hit that like button. All right, we need you to hit the like button so we can get into the algorithm because we'd like to get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So please make sure you hit the like button, get into the chat, give us some engagement. So it's the like button, that's number one, and then you got to engage in the chat. And that tells the YouTube bot that this show is resonating with the audience, and it allows us to get into the algorithm, get us into that homepage where more people can now be recommended to the channel. And lastly, a lot of you guys who are watching this show, you may not know that you're not subscribed to the show. The reason why you're seeing the shows because maybe you watch 2 or 3 shows of mine, and the algorithm says, oh, you must like True Crime and Strategic. Let me show you his next show. And you think that you're subscribed because you keep seeing my show, but you're not subscribed. So make sure I want everybody who watches this show today to check your subscription and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that we can once again grow and get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We're at less than 2,000. We need 1,700 subs. The last time I checked, we need 1,700 subs to get us to 100,000 so I could get that plaque and I could go to my wife and be like, yo, baby, look, I got this silver plaque. What's up, man? Can I get a kiss? And she'll say no. Anyway, let's keep going, all right? Wonderful day. Sad day for David, D4VD. Wonderful day for justice. I want to start the show out. We're going to start toward the back. You know, Aki hates that. We have the order that we want to go in. But I want to start by showing you guys what the teacher had to say, because this is kind of like a part 2 from what we did yesterday. So if you haven't seen part 1, go check that out so you can get up to speed to where we're at right now. But we're moving forward. We're not going to be going too far backwards. We're moving forward because there's so much that we need to cover, all right? So I want to see what the teacher has to say. This teacher taught Celeste. Celeste. All right, Celeste Rivas, alleged former teacher, tells students she met singer D4VD on social media. I told her she met this dude on social media, ran away with him. Here we go. Let's do it.
Classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was this?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on classroom.
I can't see it.
Hold up. That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because...
All right, so we're going to go to the next video. Big shout out to, I just saw some interesting in the chat, to Got Ellie 3.0. She says she applied for Portland Police last week rather, and I inspired her to do that, man. I'm so proud of you. Please go and serve your community. Making excuses, complaining about the cops is not going to change anything in this society. Be the change you want to be or the change you want to see. Join your local police department. We need the help. We're all understaffed. We serve your community. So big shout out to you, man. Good job for you. All right, let's keep going.
Social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper, that they were like blackmailing him, all of this stuff. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media. Let me tell you another story. Hold on. Social media.
Yo, so check this out, man. So this is a teacher saying that they knew about this stuff, right? This is what I don't get. We're gonna go back here to bring you guys up to speed because we're gonna tell the story. This is what I don't get. The girl was missing. She died this month. The coroner says at least September 8th is where they believe her life ended. Okay? Where was this girl this entire time? I'm gonna show you guys social medias of her streaming with this guy. And this is why I'm going after the parents. Because people knew where she was at. People knew who she was with. Nobody was truly fighting for this girl. Think about it, right? To all the parents who are in the room right now. If your daughter is missing and you could see her live streaming with a rapper, would your daughter still be with this guy? The police knew where to find her because she ran away with him. The police went to his house in Hollywood and brought her back home. And then she left again. They knew where she was at. The same place where they found her body down the block from the same house that the cops came and removed her from months earlier and returned her to her parents is the same house she went back to. We heard nothing. The girl been missing since she was 13 years old. Since 2024, she been missing. It's September of 2025. She died a week and a half ago. And people are asking why I'm asking about the parents, why I'm questioning the parents. If D4VD was willing to give $1,000 to students allegedly to silence them about the relationship that he was with an underage girl, allegedly. She wasn't even 15 when she died, by the way. Everybody's been misreporting that. She was less than 15 when she died. If he could give $1,000 to these students to silence them allegedly so that people wouldn't talk about his underage relationship with this girl, how much money would he give parents? I'm not saying that he did. I'm just asking a question. I ask questions. That's what detectives do. I'm asking a question. How much money would he give parents to make them stop making noise about a missing girl? I don't know. I don't know if anything like that happened. I'm not saying it happened. I'm just asking, would that be something he would do? Because I'm confused as to why this little girl's been missing all this time and we don't hear no noise about it. But let's keep going.
It's been a busy day of developing news. So the body found in the trunk of a Tesla registered to popular music artist David is that of a teenage girl missing since April of last year. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez live in Lake Elsinore. This stunning development in this case. Christina.
Yeah, her name was Celeste Rivas. She was last seen leaving her home here back in 2024. Her family thought she was missing. She was declared missing back then. They had no idea there could even be a...
All right, real quick, Dr. Cataclysm with $5 Super Chat says, click the subscribe button. If Strategic gets to 98,500 subs, I'll do 20 gift memberships. And we're not that far from that, man. Thank you so much. It's very generous of you, Dr. Cataclysm. We're not that far. And there's got to be at least 100 of you guys who haven't subscribed yet. So if you subscribe and we get to 98,500, you're going to get 20 gift memberships from Dr. Cataclysm. And let me tell you something. If you do that, I'll give 10 gift memberships. I'm a little short on cash right now, so I can't ball out like Dr. Cataclysm. But I will give 10 gift memberships. So that'll be 30 gift memberships if we meet that goal. If anybody else want to join me in Dr. Cataclysm, that'd be great. So if we get to 98,500, we're going to be giving a lot of free memberships. Let's keep going.
Connection to the body in the Tesla until they got a call from TMZ last week. Now, keep in mind that David has been cooperating with authorities. He has not been named a person of interest, let alone a suspect. But at this point, his concert in Seattle, the next concert date, has been canceled. And people here are saying, what's going on? Take a look.
No.
Few words from those arriving at the Lake Elsinore home where 15-year-old Celeste Rivas.
Now, there's rumors that I heard that the family is poor, that the Lake Elsinore area is a very poor area, and number two, that a lot of them are illegal, and a lot of them are, and a lot of her extended families in Mexico, and that's why they may have been silent out of fear of immigration and other things like that. This is what I'm hearing. These are rumors on the internet. Take them with a grain of salt. Remember, when we talk rumors, we make sure that you understand that it's rumors. And when we talk facts, we make sure that you understand that it's facts. These are rumors that I'm hearing. Let's keep going. Notice we've only heard from the brother. Everything that we're hearing from is from the brother. We have not seen or heard the parents speak out in public yet about this situation. And a good reason for that could be just because they're mourning. That could just be the only explanation for it. But once again, these are the rumors that I'm hearing. Let's keep going. Big shout out to Jamie Brooke with 1 gift membership donated to the chat. We appreciate you.
Here in April of 2024, where her family has just found out that it is her partially dismembered body that was found in the trunk of a Tesla, registered to popular singer-songwriter David Anthony Burke, known by the stage name David. TMZ broke the girl's identification after speaking to her mother.
It was a very heart-wrenching conversation. She was very upset and said that all she knew is that, her daughter had been missing all of this time.
Now, this is some issue I have a problem with. I think this was highly inappropriate. Highly inappropriate that this girl, her mother found out she's gone from TMZ. I think it's highly, 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 highly inappropriate. Because TMZ knew that the mother didn't know that her daughter was dead, because TMZ is the one that contacted law enforcement and aided law enforcement in kind of figuring out that this might be the girl. And then after that, this is my understanding, maybe I got it wrong, but after that, that's when TMZ went to the parents. Either way, whether TMZ went to the mother first and then they put it together, or I don't know. The bottom line is, if TMZ had an inclination that this might be the little girl, they should have contacted police first and allowed police to make that notification, not some reporter that follows celebrities in airports and say, yo, what's up, man? It's TMZ. How you doing, man? It's TMZ. How you doing? How you feel about Nicki Minaj today? Those people aren't equipped to do that. When law enforcement make these notifications, they have chaplains with them. They have priests and therapists and social workers with them when they make those notifications. TMZ made the notification on the telephone. Law enforcement would never make a notification on telephone. We don't notify people on the telephone. We go face to face and give them emotional support. You robbed that family of that support, TMZ. That's just unethical. It really is. It's unethical what they did. Now, listen, I'm happy that the mother knows now. I'm not hating on TMZ at all. But I'm just, as a person in law enforcement who knows what that family deserved, they were robbed of that emotional support by hearing it from some intern on the phone.
Told us that she was aware that there was...
Because it wasn't this guy, and it wasn't the TMZ owner dude. It wasn't these two stars. It was some intern on the phone, to be honest with you.
A boyfriend named David.
And that her daughter had a tattoo with the letters "shh" on her right index finger.
That the color of the ink of that tattoo was red, which was something that police had not released to the public.
The singer, who has been cooperating with police, had continued his tour after the body was discovered, but he just canceled his next date in Seattle.
But it just seemed odd to us that, gosh, your car, you know, such a grisly discovery in your car, and that you're just out on tour. You would think that, you know, you'd want to find out what happened here, because this is just a very bizarre case.
Especially because one of his videos actually features a body being put in the trunk of a car.
It's just eerie considering what ended up happening in David's car.
I just hope that the truth comes forward.
Celeste's neighbors on the street she grew up at.
Justicia.
Justice is what family and friends are asking for.
Whatever happened could happen to someone else, and it's just scary.
Now again, at this point, I want to...
Let's go to the next one.
I spoke with Charles Ladibaudiere. He's executive producer of TMZ. You've seen him a million times with Harvey Levin. And it was TMZ who first made some of the connections between the missing 13-year-old girl and the body in the trunk of David's car. Here's our conversation. Charles, it's good to have you.
That wasn't the mom, by the way. Somebody said the mom is smiling. If you talk about the video we just saw, that wasn't the mother. Those were neighbors. Those were not family members of the victim, of the decedent.
Do we know how long Celeste's body was in that Tesla?
That is a big question at this point, Ashley. What we do know is that the car was impounded on the 5th of September. The police discovered the body in the Tesla on the 8th of September. Now, we also know that the car had been abandoned on that street in the Hollywood Hills for at least 3 days before it was impounded. We've also spoken to neighbors in that area who said that there were people who had walked by the car and had noticed a bad odor, and that they kind of thought it was either a dead animal somewhere, either under the car or near the car. But when they called the police to report this car abandoned, they didn't mention the odor. They just thought it was a dead animal somewhere in the area. And then, of course, the police had the car in the impound yard for a couple of days before suddenly someone there was like, yeah, there's something off here. And that's when they opened that front hatch on the Tesla and found the bag with the body parts.
And they call that the frunk, if I'm not mistaken, in the front of the Tesla. It's like the trunk in the front, so to speak. But that's a really good point of forensic interest, that there was someone who noticed something that didn't smell right when the car was abandoned on that California street. So that would indicate that the body was in there probably prior to the impound lot. Are they able to determine how Celeste died at this point?
The medical examiner has said that the cause of death is deferred. Meaning they have not been able to figure it out at this point, and there's going to be further toxicology testing. It may just be that, remember, you know, what was put in that bag, the body had been dismembered, and maybe they don't have enough at this point to positively say this was the cause of death. It sounds weird to say they don't have a cause of death because, look, it's LAPD robbery homicide that is investigating. The body being dismembered would lead one to believe that this is a homicide, but they just don't have that forensically yet. They can't say for sure what the cause of death is.
And not to be too graphic, but it's important for the investigation and obviously for the autopsy as well. She was not found in her complete, her complete body wasn't found. These were parts. And if I'm not mistaken, was it a head and a torso and that's it?
Yeah, there was also, you're right, this is just very grisly.
So people are asking, how is he walking free? This is crazy. First of all, just a head and a torso was found in there. But, I got to give my commentary because we want to make this transformative, people. I know this is a pivotal moment. We'll get right back to it. But people are asking, why is he arrested yet? Because you guys got to understand how we think in law enforcement, right? I'm going to give you an example with an SA crime, all right? If I get a case where a young woman comes And I want to set the record straight also, like somebody said in the chat, like, I'm impressed that you're a homicide detective. I am not a homicide detective. I've never said that before a day in my life. Just want to make sure you guys understand, because I don't ever want to misrepresent anything about me. I am an essay detective. I can't say the word. Say it inside of the chat. But what the first letter of the first word is S, and the second letter of the second word is A, okay? You'll get it, figure it out in the chat. I'm an SA detective. I investigate those type of crimes. So I'm going to give you an example from my line of work so you guys understand what's happening right now with the LAPD, the Hollywood PD. Let's say I get two type of cases. The first case I get is a person's walking down the street minding their business, and somebody grabs them up, put a knife to their throat, total stranger, drags them into an alleyway, and essays them. That's the first type of case. The second type of case is somebody has a long-term friend that they've been friends with for 30 years. They go out to have a drink. The person slips something in their drink, brings them back to their home, and essays them, and they don't remember, but they know it happened and whatever. Those are two types of suspects. The first suspect, the one who put the knife to the person's throat and pull him inside the alleyway, is more dangerous to society than the second suspect who took advantage of a long-term friend. You have to work at different speeds for those two different cases. The first case requires you to solve that case as fast as possible, because that person will keep grabbing random strangers off the street to essay them. And he will escalate eventually to murder if the person resists. The other person, you have to move fast to get that person, but you have more time to do an even more thorough investigation to make sure that all of the defenses that that person is going to use, like, no, it was consensual or whatever, aren't true. So there are investigative steps we can do in that case that I'm not going to talk about because I don't want our investigative steps to be known to the general public. But there's things we could take our time to do in that acquaintance essay versus what we would do in a stranger essay. So in this situation, is D4VD going to go out there and just start slaughtering everybody that he meets? No. This was a DV investigation. This is a DV murder. She died because she was close to him and they had an emotional connection, etc. All right? So what's happening is the police are taking their time. They're taking their time to build a strong case. Remember, he thinks he has an alibi. They don't know exactly when she passed away. They just believe, based off of the forensic evidence, that it happened at or about September 8th. That's not a hard number. It's not a hard number. So they're taking their time. Let's go find blood. Let's go find evidence of the murder in the house. Let's go find DNA on the body. Let's go find all the different things that paints the story before we arrest him. Because once you arrest somebody and you charge them, there's something called speedy trial. Your back is on the wall now. Your back is on the wall to get this case together. Rather, you let him walk for a little bit. You let him stay out for another week or 2 or 3 while you build a strong case so that when you do arrest him, all of that work is done. That is what's happening. He's not going to get away with this if he's guilty. Remember, he's innocent until proven guilty, people. He's not going to get away. But the police don't have to move like he's a serial murderer. They don't have to move like that because D4VD is not a serial murderer. He's not. Even if he's guilty of what he did to this girl, he's not a serial murderer. Nobody else is going to lose their life in the time it takes for them to build their case and arrest him. But it is imperative that they build a strong case to make sure that Celeste gets justice rather than rush and then she gets nothing because he has $1 million and he has a record label behind him that's going to be trying to probably help him in his defense because they invested $10 million in him already. They need to make sure that they come correct so that this guy gets thrown the book at him if he's guilty of what he did. All right, guys, we're about to continue, but I just want to stop one more time and say, please hit that like button. We have almost 700 people watching this stream right now, but only 286 likes. Please hit the like button, support the channel so we can get into the algorithm. Let's keep going. I think somebody wants to pin something for the Dr. Cataclysm. Okay, I got you. And then we just got a $20 super chat from Global Friends who says, new here, love your channel. Thank you so much, Global Friends. That's very kind of you, man. Make sure I got the full name for Global Friends. I can't see it on this screen. It says Global Friends Corner. Thank you so much, Global Friends Corner. That's very kind of you. You're brand new to the channel, and you starting off with a bang with a nice fat super chat. Thank you so much. Let's keep going.
To say, but I don't know if they have.
How this work?
I had all the limbs. They certainly had some of them because the police did say that she had this tattoo, which is very interesting, something we found out, but she had a tattoo on her right index finger that said the letters SHHH ... And that was on her right index finger. We had actually spoken to Celeste's mother last week. And at that point, the police had said that the tattoo was there, but the mom told us more information, which the police had not released, which was that the tattoo was in red ink.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below. And
interesting stuff, man. We're learning more. We're going on our journey, people. We're learning. We're going on our journey.
The body found inside the trunk of an abandoned Tesla registered to the singer David has been identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. The teen was reported a runaway and missing out of Lake Elsinore nearly a year and a half ago. Tonight, a house close to where that Tesla was abandoned was searched. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo is there live now in Hollywood with more. Tim.
And Mark, those CSI investigators literally just left the scene about 10-15 minutes ago. The police tape finally came off and we were able to come a little bit closer to this house. Now, we don't know at this point what exactly those detectives were looking for, what they got out of that house. We saw them pull evidence and put it into an SUV, essentially where I'm standing right now. We don't even know why they were here in the first place, but this house just happens to be literally feet away from where that Tesla was found. A dozen LAPD investigators took a computer and other items from this Hollywood home just a block away from where an abandoned Tesla was found with a dead teenager in the trunk. Police spent hours at the home on Dehaney Place, placing several evidence bags into an SUV, but they wouldn't say if or how it was connected to the Tesla. Several homeowners say they remember seeing that distinct Tesla for a while. First parked in front of the house police searched today, then at two different spots on the street.
It's a little weird to see a car that I haven't seen here for a long time. Had a big dent on it, had a Texas plate on it. So all a little odd, but at the same time, you know, people could be hanging out with friends for, you know, for a long time.
That abandoned Tesla was towed earlier this month, and workers at a Hollywood tow yard noticed a foul odor and found decomposed human remains wrapped in a garbage bag inside the car. We now know the young woman found dead was 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, according to the medical examiner, the same teen who was reported missing from Lake Elsinore last year. At a corner store in town, the owner recalled her coming in often.
She always quiet, nice. She come in like if she buy like a chips, soda, and leave. Sometimes she come with a friend from the neighborhood.
Eyewitness News has learned Rivas had run away from home a few times. She was last reported missing in spring of 2024. Those who knew Rivas, who just turned 15 a week and a half ago, say she was bubbly and sweet.
She just seemed very lively and friendly, a typical teenager.
The medical examiner hasn't determined her cause of death, but part of the police investigation will be speaking to the owner of that Tesla, a musician who goes by David. His real name, David Anthony Burke, from Houston, Texas. David, made popular via social media for the songs Romantic Homicide and Here With Me, began the American leg of his world tour on July 30th and has continued performing since the investigation began. Tonight's show, though, in Seattle was canceled. The medical examiner also trying to determine how long Rivas had been dead, but based on the condition of the body, it might have been a while. Those who saw the Tesla this summer and watched LAPD spend hours in this well-to-do Bird Streets neighborhood are rattled by everything that's happened here.
It's scary to think that this is happening. And this is a beautiful neighborhood, very nice, beautiful, expensive homes, and we would think that we'd be safer.
Interesting note, the home here behind me that detectives have been focused on the better part of today has 2 cameras above the garage as well as a ring camera. In fact, this entire neighborhood has pretty extensive security system, with many of the homes having several cameras. We do know from a couple neighbors I spoke with earlier that police were here last week asking to review or see some of the security camera footage. We don't know if they got anything, if it's helped the case. As to this point, LAPD has been extremely tight-lipped about this entire investigation.
Okay. I don't know. All right, so before we go to the reaction of some of these people over here, I want to go ahead and play some clips of these folks kind of like together. Like there was an interview that was done. Where's that interview at? Where did I do that? Where did I put that interview? Ooh. This is it right here. This is him talking about basically making the Romantic Homicide song. I want to bring that to you guys' attention so you guys can hear him talk, because I'm not a fan of this guy. I didn't know anything about this guy until this whole true crime situation came out. So this is like us kind of like figuring out who this guy is and getting his mannerisms down, packing all that. So I got this from the Zach Sang show. I don't know much about Zach Sang, but all credit goes to him. Let's go.
Say, okay, I'm not going to be a professional gamer. Let me pursue music.
And he kind of tells us like his history, because he started off as a professional gamer doing like Fortnite and stuff like that, and then he decided to go into singing.
Do you remember that moment where you're like, this is probably going to work out better than my original goal?
That moment happened the day I made Romantic Homicide, I think. Because right after the Fortnite stuff was going on, I moved to TikTok and started doing the covers, because I started out as the meme thing. And then I made Romantic Homicide, and it was so different than everything else I had made, because it was actually sad. It was slow, it was sad, it was emotional, it had weight to it. Most of my other songs, like Take Me to the Sun and The Dirty Secrets before that, and You and I, they're all like these indie up-tempo records that you could just like do whatever to. And I played it for my mom. And whenever my mom hates something, I know it's cool. Like when I used to get up and get dressed for school in the morning, I put on this cool fit. She would like, take that off, put on a suit or something like that, you know? I knew it was cool if she hated it. I played it for her in the car, and she was like, David, this song is too violent. You're talking about killing people in your music? No, not my son. And I was like, wait, I might be onto something, bro. So I dropped it right after that. And it went crazy. TikTok, viral, 1 million views overnight. I was like, oh yeah, we cooking, boy. We cooking, boy. So right at that moment, I was like, my mom has done it again. Because if she said, oh, because I was already skeptical about the song when I made it. Like, I was like, okay, maybe it's just too dark, I don't know what I'm doing. I held on to it for a minute, until I decided to play it for my mom, and she hated it, and that was my cue. That was the go do it. So after that, it was just like, it was history, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is, were you sad at the time of making it?
I was. I mean, dude, homeschooling really takes a toll on a kid. Like
isolation.
Yeah, and there's outlets like, I know I made a couple friends now that were homeschooled, but they had like these groups that they would go to like bi-weekly.
You know, every time I speak to a dude, I know that he's a piece of ish. Like when I'm in my day job, I wonder like how these guys feel. I'm asking a question, like how they feel speaking to this guy, kind of venerating him. They're not doing anything wrong, by the way. They're interviewers. They're interviewing somebody who is an artist. They don't know what he did, but I wonder like how they feel now, knowing that, you know, allegedly they might have just been steps away from somebody with so much blood on their hands. I wonder how that. I'm just always curious about little things like that. It's in no way a knack on these folks or anything. I would just love to know, like, hey, how do you feel? You know, how does that make you feel now when you were talking to this guy and you really felt that he was positive and on a very great trajectory of being an influential singer, a songwriter, and just to find out that this guy was basically a psychopath sitting just feet away from you.
And just to socialize, but I didn't have that. Like there was no like extracurricular activities I was involved in it was just me at home playing Fortnite, getting schoolwork done, learning how to code and build computers for 4 years. 4 years. Crazy. So yeah, man, Romantic Homicide was just like, I wanted to feel what the other kids were feeling. Like everybody I knew, well, in middle school that I didn't talk to anymore, everybody had relationships. I didn't have a relationship. I wanted to do that. I wanted to be involved in this or have a heartbreak for myself. So I kind of just like made up these scenarios of myself getting heartbroken and being in love and stuff like that. And I would write songs about things that never happened. And that would just become my life.
And now it's all happening.
4 years, man. Yeah.
You were also raised in a very religious household.
Yeah, super.
God play a role in your life today?
Bro, the faith-based thinking and just being...
While he's saying that, he's saying no. He's like, bro, the faith-based thinking. He's about to big up how being raised in a religious household, I presume, I didn't listen to this part, helped him. But he's saying no while he's talking about it.
Grounded on the rock of God is just
Listen,
like...
The devil could lie, but he can't lie to God. Listen to him.
Like, it helps me in so many aspects of staying level-headed and staying on the ground and staying realistic and not getting too big of a head. And my family is very, very supportive, and they're my support system, and they guide me through this whole thing. We have family Bible study every Saturday, you know,
Wow.
and I'm still trying to learn and grow more in the faith, and just keep myself super.
So he's got black nail polish on with crosses on it. Almost like he's making a mockery of religion. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not trying to be too symbolistic, but I mean, we know what, allegedly, we think we know what he did to this girl. He's talking about God. He has black nail polish on. Each other finger has black nail polish with red cross to black nail polish and a gold cross on it. And just alternating like that. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just think he's a rock star, and that's why he has that, the rock stars, the rebels. Or maybe he is making a mockery of Jesus Christ. I don't know.
I wouldn't say like normal, but keeping myself very sane. It helps me stay sane in this entire thing for sure. Yeah.
It is. What can you describe what is grounding about it? I mean,
of course,
family has a lot to do with it. Also, it's what you've known for a long time, so it brings you back.
Of course. I mean, I tweeted the other day, stay prayed up. Like, prayer is the most important thing. When you have like, God is my therapist. Well, songwriting is way from...
Somebody said, Tamara Webster says, we all know that a jealous upcoming artist could have very well have done this, kidnapped Celeste, who was driving the Tesla, murdered her, etc., placed her in the trunk and abandoned her. You serious, Tamara, or you just trolling? I wonder. And let's say that you're true. Let's say what you're saying is true. Does that absolve him from the fact that he's screwing around with an underage girl? I'm just curious here. I just want to know if you're serious. That's all I want to know.
Me to express myself, that before I write a song, I have to pray about it. And then I have to pray and or not write a song, but before I release a song, I have to pray about it. Is this the right thing? But I'm also talking to him about the things I'm not writing about, and like the pain and hurt and all these emotions that I feel. And sometimes I get overwhelmed with this whole thing and before a tour and stuff like that. And how do I approach this the right way? How do I handle a situation properly? And how do I go about this and that? And I always talk to God before I do it. Am I doing this right way? Am I doing this right way? And then I come back, like, okay, have that mental clarity. It's like, it's such a relieving process to be able to pray and talk to God and hear his voice and be able to understand situations and comprehend life in such a multidimensional way, because there's so many different people that I come in contact with.
And I said 13 years old because she was 13 when she started dealing with him. So when we just talk about the age she was when she passed away, we're not even doing her any justice, because now it's like, oh, well, he was messing with a 14 or a 15-year-old girl. No, he was not messing with a 14 or a 15-year-old girl. When he started messing with her, she was a 13-year-old girl. When he started messing with her, she was 13 years old, allegedly. So we're not doing her no justice just talking about the age she was when she lost her life. No, this was a baby. She was a baby. And there's some reports out there saying that he met her when she was 11. Some reports out there saying that he met her when she was 11. Let's keep going, though. I haven't verified those reports yet, though. I'm just telling you the rumors. Remember, I tell you guys rumors when I think they're rumors. The rumors are she was 11 in 2021, but we at least know, because that's when she went missing. She went missing at 13. She went missing at 13. There's rumors that she was 11. There's rumors that he was paying off her classmates to not tell people that he's messing with this baby. Now listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. We love free speech here. But on this channel, we don't cap for pedos. We don't know if he's a murderer, but I think there's a lot of evidence, allegedly, that show that he was a pedophile. Don't come on my channel capping for no pedophile. Otherwise, we're going to show you some swift justice. Never forget, I'm not just a YouTube commentator. I'm a detective, and this is what I do for a living. I take this seriously. This is not entertainment for me. This is my life's work. Don't come on True Crime and Strategic capping for no pedo. We don't like pedos on this channel.
With so many different personalities, and you have to kind of accommodate that, you know? And I don't want to come off as mean or rude to anybody. I always try to keep a very peaceful aura and just, you know, approach everybody with peace and love. So,
did you pray on those records that were supposed to be your debut album? Is that how you realized they weren't right?
Yeah, it was that, and a mixture of my team kind of telling me, like, you got to stay David. I mean, SZA told me that as well. And God will kind of send me messages through the people I'm around. When I was on tour with SZA, I was just backstage, and I had gifted her some sound bowls. She loves sound bowls. I gave her some sound bowls. She was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I asked her, like, how do you do this? I was in awe of her the entire tour. I was like, how did you get to this point? Like, you have this huge team with 10 tour buses and this huge production, and like there's dancers and guitarists doing backflips, and like, how did you get here? And she was like, you just gotta stay you, boy. You gotta stay you. And I was like, okay. But it didn't click until like 9 months later, after I went through making a pop album that sounded nothing like me, and this that sounded nothing like me. It was just that her voice in my head. And God,
stay you, man. Stay you, killing them girls. Killing them little girls. All right, let's see what's going on.
In a case, a shocking case.
There you go. You guys get to see how he talks and see his mannerisms, all that stuff. That's why I played that. I want you guys to kind of get to know this artist, because a lot of you guys don't know who he is. Listen, I'm 41. Most of you guys are my age and older. We don't know who this guy is. We don't listen to his music. But this is what our children are listening to. When he's talking about, I love you, but I hate you, and I killed you, and I don't care. This is what our kids are listening to. This is what they're digesting in. We wonder why these kids are walking around with depression and all that stuff. And all these kids is smothering each other and smothering themselves and all that stuff because they listening to this depressive music. But let's keep going.
Investigators have now identified the teenage girl found dead in a car owned by singer David. KCAL's Nicole Comstock went to Lake Elsinore tonight, where the young girl's family reported her missing last year.
This young lady's family told us earlier this afternoon that they didn't want to talk about this, which is completely understandable because it's obvious that they're going through a really traumatic time right now. But Lake Elsinore is a really tight-knit community, and many here knew this young girl. They say they just hope that at the end of the day, the truth about what happened to her comes to light. It's a somber night in Lake Elsinore after residents learned that a local girl named Celeste Rivas, who went missing early last year, has now been identified as the 15-year-old girl found dead in the trunk of a Tesla in Hollywood that's reportedly registered to the singer-songwriter David.
I feel sad for her, sad for her family too.
Eli Nadef owns the market around the corner from her family's home and says Rivas used to come in all the time for candy until she stopped coming in sometime last year.
It's sad for the kids. They get lost. The kids get lost by the social media. Even I'm a parent, I'm fighting the war to raise my kids.
Rivas' brother would only say that his family was grieving this afternoon. The singer's representatives reportedly said he was cooperating with investigators last week while he continued his world tour. But tonight, his concert in Seattle was canceled. The LA County Sheriff's Department is still saying that there are no persons of interest in this case, going as far as to say that at this point, there's no evidence that a crime did or did not occur. But many in this community have questions about what possible connection, if any, she may have had to the singer.
She had a boyfriend named David, and then they have matching tattoos.
This woman says her daughter knew Rivas from school and that she went missing more than once. Another neighbor says Rivas briefly came home 4 months after she was initially reported missing.
So I am like 100% sure that that was the day that I last saw her.
She says she remembers the date because Rivas bought something from her at a yard sale.
She just seemed like just happy. Like, oh my God, look at this, look at that.
The Riverside County Sheriff's Department says Rivas was initially reported to them as a runaway and that she wasn't located during a search of the area. And we heard that Rivas went to school at Lakeland Village. So we reached out to the Lake Elsinore Unified School District, and they told us in writing in part that they were heartbroken to learn about the tragic passing of one of their former students. Reporting in Lake Elsinore, Nicole Comstock, KCAL News.
To developing news now, police searching a home in the Hollywood Hills tonight, close to where the teen's body was found.
Now, Mike, do we know if the search has anything to do with the girl's death, though?
Yeah, so Susie and Juan, we are working on those details right now. What I can tell you is that it is literally right where we know that the car was towed from. So remember how this all happened, as you heard from Nicole. The car was towed from the Hollywood Hills. It wasn't until it was at the tow yard where the body was found. So if we go back to where the car was towed from tonight, there's a presence of Los Angeles police detectives that are out there. We can see them in their plainclothes suits. We also see crime scene techs. It appears to be centered at this home. Sky Cow was able to get a peek before it got dark. And
listen, I think this guy is extremely sloppy. Just leaving a body inside of the trunk, extremely sloppy. I think that this case is in a bag. They're just doing their due diligence. They're getting the forensics ready, all that good stuff. You know, the search warrants that they're going to get on the phone records, the preservation orders and the search warrants that they're going to get on the social media, the Twitch, all that stuff, all of the live streams that they did together. You know, listen, this case is in the bag, baby. This case is in the bag. For real, for real. Let's keep going.
See that garage door open, and we see what appear to be crime scene techs going in and out of that garage. There you see it right there. You see the door to the home open on the inside. Another Tesla with the front open right there inside the garage as well. To be clear, LAPD has not said tonight if this investigation is related to the investigation of the girl's body being found, but they are like less than 100 feet away from where it was all found. So this is all happening in the same neighborhood. We have reached out to the LAPD. We even talked to the Hollywood Watch Commander. This isn't Hollywood Division. The Hollywood Watch Commander had no idea what was going on, which leads us to believe this is not a patrol operation. This is detectives that we see out there. So working to gather some more information, but we know as that operation is happening very, very close to where that car was towed from before her body was found.
All right, real quick, we're going to go to the Daily Breeze. Hold on. Dismiss. What is going on here? I'm already subscribed to these dudes, so what is happening here? It appears that he canceled a show. It's asking me to pay for this, but I've already paid for a year, which is really weird. All right, while I work that out, we'll go to the next one. We'll read this for you guys, but while I work it out, we'll go to the next one, and we'll get that article for you.
New details are coming into our newsroom about the missing girl found dead in singer David's Tesla. We now know police have searched a home in the Hollywood Hills where David had been living.
Eyewitness News reporter Monica DeAnda joins us live from Hollywood with the very latest. Monica.
Colleen, Phillip, good morning. Take a look here behind me. This home is where David was living, although he does not own the home. LAPD investigators served a search warrant here last night, collecting evidence. Right now, however, this is only being called a death investigation and not a homicide, and we're told that is because the LA County Medical Examiner's Office is still working to determine how exactly this teen girl died. We now know the body found inside the front trunk of a Tesla at a Hollywood tow yard belonged to 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. The car where she was found registered to David Anthony Burke, a 20-year-old singer who goes by David. Take a look. This video shows crime scene investigators carrying out a laptop and other items from this home on Doheny Place as possible evidence connected to the missing teen's disappearance and death. Police remaining very tight-lipped about the investigation, but we now know this home is where the singer was staying. One neighbor we spoke to remembers seeing that distinct Tesla for a while. First, parked in front of the house police searched, and then at two different spots along the street.
It's a little weird to see a car that I haven't seen here for a long time. Had a big dent on it, had a Texas plate on it. So all a little odd, but at the same time, you know, people could be hanging out with friends for, for a long time.
The victim, 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, was first reported missing from Lake Elsinore in early 2024. Eyewitness News learned she ran away a few times and returned before her last runaway in April of 2024.
The question we got to ask ourselves is, why is she running away from home, ladies and gentlemen? Why is she running away from home? That's the question we got to ask ourselves. Why? Why is this young woman running away? I don't know. Why is she missing since last year, and she's 13 years old, and all we see is just one police report for her missing? Where was her parents all that time? Where was her family all that time? Mind you, she's all over the internet, ladies and gentlemen, doing live streams with a pop star. Live streams with a pop star, ladies and gentlemen. But nobody's really looking for her until she turns up in a frunk. That's what they call it. It's not a trunk, it's a frunk. Make it make sense.
The teen had not been heard from since until September 8th, when authorities discovered her body inside of that Tesla.
She just seemed very lively and friendly. I just hope that the truth comes out and she gets justice for what happened to her.
All right, we're straight on that article. We'll hit
And lots
that
of
right
questions
now.
still remain, including how the victim and David knew each other. Now, investigators are still working to piece together exactly what happened, but we are also learning that a new song was leaked online that's by the artist titled Celeste, and that is now circulating online. So that's going on, as well as detectives continuing to figure out how exactly this girl died and what happened. But in terms of the artist, he is in the middle of a tour. We know he was continuing his performances up until yesterday when he...
Yo, big shout out to whoever just sent us coffee. We appreciate you. Rhiannon, she says my name is Rhiannon. You know it's spelled Rhiannon. Rhiannon. This is America. We do speak English. It's spelled Rhiannon, but we will call her Rhiannon because that's what she wants. Nah, I'm just joking. Rhiannon, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. She's a love to the show. Hashtag strategic, by the way, it's Rhiannon. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Leslie sent us 5 free gift memberships to 5 lucky people. You guys are blessed by Leslie. So make sure you say thank you to Leslie, whoever won. We appreciate you. And let's finish this out because we have the article now to talk about him canceling his show.
Canceled his show in Seattle. He does have another one scheduled here in Los Angeles at the Greek Theater for Saturday. No word yet on whether or not that show will be canceled.
All right, so now we have the answer to that. It actually segued in pretty well. We have the answer to that. So singer David, D4VD, canceled San Francisco and LA shows amid probe into 15-year-old IE girl found dead in his car. Let's read it. Popular singer David, who has been on concert tour as police investigate how a 15-year-old girl ended up dead and inside his car, has canceled Friday's show in San Francisco and Saturday's gig at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles. It was reported Friday. TMZ and other sources are reporting that both of the singer's California shows, Fridays at the Warfield Theater and Saturday at the Greek, have been canceled. David canceled Wednesday's show in Seattle, where he was set to perform at the Showbox Sodo. A person answering the phone at the Warfield Theater said that there were no tickets available for Friday's show. He was later reported that the show was canceled along with the Greek Theater concert. David previously announced on social media that he would release a deluxe version of his album, Withered, on Interscope on Friday, and was also scheduled to play the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles on Wednesday of next week. Interesting. A cause of death remains pending for the girl identified in the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiners as Celeste Rivas, who was 13 when she went missing in Lake Elsinore last year before her decomposed body was found a day after her 15th birthday in Hollywood in the trunk of an impounded Tesla registered in Texas. So when did this girl go? Did she go missing in 2023? Am I just retarded? I don't understand what's happening here. Okay, no, she went missing in 2024. She was 13 at the time. Then she turned 14 while she was missing. And then her birthday happened here. Okay, I got it. Yeah, it makes sense. A bulletin issued by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department when her mother reported the girl missing lists her date of birth as September 7th. I got you. She went missing before her 14th birthday and refers to her as Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Her remains was discovered on September 8th. All right, blah, 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 blah. My throat is starting to hurt. You guys get the point. According to various reports, the remains were dismembered and severely decomposed and were found inside of a bag in a trunk. The medical examiner's office have earlier described the decedent as a woman of unknown age with a wavy black hair and unknown eye color. Unknown eye color. Why? Was her eyes some way? I guess they were decomposed and they couldn't see that. Probably a milky white because of the decomposition. Wow, that's so sad. Let's keep going. Oh, man, that is horrible, horrible news. All right, let's keep going. TMZ got it.
Yes. Like you said, it was a year ago, April. So either run away or disappeared.
Yes.
Like you said, it was a year ago, April. So the police have identified her, but here's one of the twists. Last Wednesday, right after the car was found, we got a tip that this body may be that of Celeste's. We got in touch with Celeste's mother.
Who's the tip from? This is not tips that TMZ should have. This should be information that the Riverside County Sheriff's Department have. Like whoever gave you the tip has intimate knowledge of probably her being deceased and how she got deceased and unalived. I don't think that TMZ should be sitting on this information. Big shout out to everybody who's watching us. We have almost 1,000 people watching us right now. Hit that like button so we can get up there, guys. We only have 482 likes. We do need that like so we can get into the algorithm. Please support the channel. And if you haven't subscribed to us yet and you're watching us, please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, people. Let's do it.
And the mother told us, because what the police had come out with was that the girl had a tattoo on her right index finger that said S.
Even before they could find out her name, they obviously had the body parts and they released some information.
And it was on her index finger. It said SHHH with 3 dots or 4 dots. And that's all we knew. The mother told us that my daughter had a tattoo on her right index finger that said the same thing. And that the tattoo, she told us, in fact, Anakin, she only spoke Spanish, so Anakin spoke to her.
She did.
And she said that she had a boyfriend.
That's right, that she had a boyfriend and his name was David. And the mother never really got in contact with David, like she never saw him.
She didn't know who the David was.
She had heard of him. And it seemed like the last time that she had seen her daughter was when she had gone out with David.
So we called LAPD robbery homicide.
These people be raising these little girls to be little women instead of little girls who will grow into being women, man. That's crazy. How your daughter come home with a tattoo on her finger and she still have that finger? I don't know how that works. She come home with a tattoo. They raising these kids to be little women instead of raising them to be girls that will grow into women one day. This is crazy. How your daughter got a boyfriend and you don't know who he is? And people get mad at me like, Strategic, you always too mad. You too rough on these parents. I'm too rough on these parents because can't you see, people? These kids are dying because these parents aren't being parents. These parents aren't being parents. They're raising free-range children. You ever heard of free-range chickens? Free-range cows? They're raising free-range children. They just letting these kids go out into the pastures and just go do what you do. Go graze. Go ahead. Free-range children. No. Children need structure, rules, regulations. Go ask my children if I'm a totalitarian type daddy, and they'll say, no, he's mad free willing. You could give structure and rules without being overbearing. Structure and rules is what children need. Safety is what children need. Balance is what children need. And no, go out and do your thing. Oh, the moment they get some TT, go out there. Oh, you got some TT now, you're a woman, go out there. No, just because you got TT don't mean you're a woman. Just because you got a little mustache on your lips don't mean you're a man. They are still children. They need structure. And then you send them out in the wild, and then we wonder why they're gone now. Why have they been victimized? Why are they no longer with us? Why do they have scars and traumas that will last them the rest of their life? Why? Because you didn't do your job, mommy and daddy. The buck stops with you. Somebody explain what TT mean inside of the chat for these people. I'm West Indian. Obviously, I'm not saying the actual word because of YouTube. Unbelievable. This girl had no structure. Just keep going.
And we gave them the information. We gave them the mother's phone number. We gave them her name, obviously, and also told the detective that she had told us about the tattoo. We added the fact that it was red, which they hadn't.
Right. They hadn't said that. They had not
disclosed.
released that information.
And the detective was, poker faced. Or
that's what they have to do.
And just said, thank you very much. And that was it until today, when they now have identified the girl as the girl who is the girl of that woman.
Right, the daughter of that woman.
Right.
So there's another twist with that tattoo.
Yes.
A very interesting one in some photos that we found of David.
Correct.
Now, we should say that David has been on tour during all of this. He
hasn't canceled any of his shows.
Until
his one tonight.
Had been on a tour, and in fact, just last night performed in Seattle. And police they have not named him a person of interest, not named him a suspect. They just know that the car belongs to him. Now, the photos that we found of David and a tattoo that he has is very, very interesting.
So we found photos from last September.
This guy's a singer. He's not a rapper. It's just ignorance. People just, oh, he's a rapper. He's not a rapper. If he never raps, then why you call him a rapper for? I don't understand what the disconnect is. He's a singer. He sings ballads, and he sings pop, and he sings R&B. That's it. He's not a rapper. I guess they see gold chains and chocolate skin, so he's automatically rapping because that's the only thing people that look like him could do. That's crazy. Come on. But anyway, I hope to just give some clarification. This guy's clearly a singer. I've never heard of him doing a rap a day in my life. Big shout out to MM Claire. Thank you for acknowledging. I am looking and feeling better, and I appreciate you for caring and showing that love. Let's keep going.
Where he has on his pointer finger of his right hand
the same finger as hers.
The same exact finger, the exact same tattoo. It's in black, so it's not red ink, and I do want to be fair, obviously we're not insinuating anything here. The tattoo it was very popular though.
It's a tattoo that Rihanna made popular in 2008.
Hey, EMT Rick says, who the hell names their kid Anakin? And I was saying the same thing. I was like, Anakin? I was like, is he talking about Star Wars now? Like, who names their kid Anakin? Come on, man. That's corny. Anakin. Come on, that's Star Wars, bro.
SHHH.
Lindsay Lohan had
a bunch
one.
of celebrities.
Yeah.
A ton of people get it because you do this, so it makes sense why it would be on that finger. But it is interesting that he has the exact same tattoo.
The LAPD Homicide Division is investigating this case. They still have not said it's a murder.
Correct. Meaning that they don't know the cause of death. Obviously, yes, the body was dismembered and was, where the parts were in a bag that was in the Tesla, but they don't know what the cause of death is.
And we don't want to seem dumb to you guys that we're saying, people are saying, of course it's a murder. I mean, theoretically, it could be a body where somebody died and then they did it after the fact.
You know what? That's a good point somebody made in the chat. Jen, I think, said that. Said, mind you, Rihanna was a minor when she came into the industry, so that tattoo could have a specific meaning. And there's a lot of rumors, and I'm not going to say who because I am not trying to get the wrath of nobody because you got some big players involved with Rihanna. But there's allegations that some major rappers encountered with Rihanna when she was a minor. There's some allegations, some major heavy hitters engaged in relations with her when she was a minor. Allegations, unproven. I've never heard her admit to it. So she gets the shush tattoo, and now boom, he is being a pedophile, allegedly, in my opinion, with no evidence, being a pedophile because allegedly she was 13 when he was dealing with her, but we don't know yet because he has not been adjudicated and you're innocent until proven guilty. Wink, wink, bam, 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 eyes crossed, all that good stuff. Elemental P. And now she gets the tattoo with the shush, and he gets the tattoo with the shush, and she seems to be doing the same thing that Rihanna was doing. I don't know. You figure it out. We're all detectives when we're watching this show together. Let's keep going.
Which would not be murder.
But
we don't know.
The part that, why would you do that?
Right.
Right. If someone fell down the stairs and broke their neck in an accident, why would you dismember the body?
Right. So that's what we know right now.
Yes. And then, so the latest thing about David, as we said, police have not named him But we do know that he canceled for the first time since all of this has been going on. He canceled a show. He had another one scheduled in Seattle tonight, but venues.
It was weird to me that he was kind of.
So we're gonna X this right now because it's 40-something minutes. We're not gonna do the whole thing. I want to get over here to Tisa with the T, but before that, and this is the unreleased song. I'm a little hesitant to play because I don't know if they have this copyrighted. I'm not too sure. I am hesitant to play it though. But this right here, we'll go with this one. We'll make that at the very end so that if it is copyrighted, I can edit it out. And it will be no big deal. I just edit out the end of the live stream. So we'll play that at the end. But somebody said don't play it. But in that song, allegedly, he confesses. In that song, he confesses. But we're just not going to, they're probably going to use anything to kind of silence a stream like this. So we're not going to give them that. They said they're hitting channels for it. Okay, so we're not going to do that. And we're going to close that out altogether so that there's no accident that we're playing it. But this is him on a live stream with her.
To that one, that's so mean if you don't answer.
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot. Bro, thank you, Mitochondria.
I gotta stop with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer.
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot.
It's like a baby.
Thank you, Mitochondria.
I gotta stop with him if you even. We need to delete this.
You see, I'm playing one more time. Listen to how she's talking. She's a baby. This is why she was missing. They're doing live streams. Listen to how she's talking. She's so immature. She's acting her age. It's not like she's like 13, 14 with like 16 or 17-year-old or 18-year-old vibes or whatever. Like she's a baby with baby vibes. Listen to her. The immaturity in her voice, the whole nine, and you could tell he's a man who's trying to dumb himself down to her level. What the pedophiles do. The pedophiles always do that. They'll be 50 years old acting like they're 16. On video games like, oh, man, you got me, man. So that they can relate to their prey. They like to relate to their prey. That's what the pedophiles do. He's a pedophile, in my opinion. No evidence of it. It's just my opinion. Allegations on an opinion show. Pedophile dumbing himself down to be relatable to this little baby who's sitting right next to him. Let's keep going. Listen to this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer.
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot. Bro, thank you, Mitochondria.
I gotta stop with him if you even. We need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so.
All right. Okay, we see you, bro. We see you, my G. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's go with Tisa with the T. We play Tisa with the T. Tisa Tells. I call her Tisa with the T, but her channel's Tisa Tells. She's an amazing YouTuber. She's been in the game for a minute. I've been subscribed to her for a couple years now. Like I told you guys, I listen to a lot of tea on the low. My all-time greatest tea sipper is Lovely Tea. Okay, I love me some Lovely Tea. Been watching Lovely Tea for a very, very, very long time. She's at 1 million subs right now. And Tisa T and what is the other one? Oh man, Pet Tea Blog. Love me some Pet Tea. Lovely, impressive show. Love me. My all-time favorite, of course, is Lovely Tea, and also up there is Tisa Tells. All right, so I love those channels. I've been watching those channels for a while now. Way before I started doing true crime, this would be what I would listen to when I'm mellowing out and driving to work and stuff like that. So she has a lot more information as well. We're gonna react to hers a little bit right now too.
New shocking, never before seen evidence in the David case. Prolific singer, songwriter, set to take Frank Ocean's crown. Literally live streaming with the biggest celebrities on tour with Colucci, on tour with some of the industry's greats, now disgraced, cooperating, but many suspect in hiding because it looks like he is the prime suspect into his missing, at the time, 13-year-old girlfriend who was found chopped and screwed and put in a trunk. You guys, there is more and more information coming out on Twitter every day, and we have to talk about it. I'm going to take you through all of it. Guess what? The victim's brother has allegedly spoken out. We have the screenshots. We have the screen recording. People from that community have spoken out. They have said this man was known to be a paid PDF file. The people in his Discord knew. The people in his stream knew. He demanded that people delete his streams. We have the streams with Celeste on there. We have the tweets from people in the community, which, by the way, this information came out before Celeste was even found. She had been missing for over a year. She had been missing for over a year. We have the screenshots from David's song, Romantic Homicide. And more importantly, we even have someone that worked in a jewelry store that David would take Celeste in regularly to look at wedding rings and things like that. There is so much evidence that we have compiled. We're going to walk you through it. We did other videos where there were tweets and stuff like this, but let's actually get through the evidence because it paints a picture. It paints a picture that cannot be ignored. All right, let's get into it. First up, popular stringer Arav, right? He literally posted on Twitter, Celeste's brother speaks up and reveals that he thinks David murked his sister. Now, let's get into the screenshots because he recorded everything because he wanted us to know this was 100% legit, okay? He's going in to Instagram, okay, showing that this is 100% the brother's profile and scrolling through their messages. Let's get into this. First question he asked off the bat, which we were all wondering. He said, dude, why does David follow you? He said, all respect to your sister, and I hate how ishy people are being. Was it really him, Jesus, all love man? He said, her brother says, Celeste, the missing 13-year-old, who would be 15 this year, said, yes, it was him because he found my account out of nowhere and followed me. The streamer says, F, well, he has it coming. That's wild, just randomly. Did you ever talk to him? Did you ever talk to him? Now, the brother says, well, I met him once in person. Again, I have questioned. I'm not going to question the brother because I don't know how old the brother is. He could be a kid himself. I am questioning the fact that the mother knew that from the time she was, because if she was missing at 13, her and David were dating for a year or two before that. Your 11 and 12-year-old is not coming home.
See, even Tisa saying that. I'm not the only one saying that. Y'all got to stop having sympathy for these parents when they do bad business, when they're not doing their job. And I told y'all we had this discussion yesterday. I didn't want to offend any particular demographics, but I told you guys certain cultures don't mind their little girls dating older men. And if somebody came and told us, no, it's about poverty, it's not about race. Shut up. Oh. Let's deal with facts here, okay? We don't always have to be so soft and not want to hurt people's feelings because nothing gets fixed if we don't call people out when they're doing wrong. It is a fact. Certain cultures don't have an issue with their young girls dating older guys, especially when those older guys are successful and can take care of their daughters. And I had a lot of people from those cultures hit me up in the chat saying, you're right. You're 100% correct, strategic. It is what it is. If you come to me and say African Americans are more likely to commit homicide than anybody else in America, I'll say, yeah, you're right. It's okay. I'm not going to get offended because it's a fact. I'm not going to do it, but the statistics show that people who look like me are more likely to engage in homicides. That's just a fact. Now, we could talk about why, educational outcomes, lack of fathers in the homes, all the good stuff. We could talk about that stuff. racism, the history of slavery in the country, poverty, persistent poverty, all that stuff. We could talk about it. We could talk about that afterwards. But I have to acknowledge the fact. I have to say, yes, you're 100% correct because the numbers don't lie. So why are you getting offended when I'm calling the truth, when I'm telling you the truth? Certain cultures, they don't mind their little girls running around with older dudes if the dudes have money, can take care of them. And this is what we see in this instance. 11 years old. Even Tisa tells us saying it. 11 years old, running around with an older boy. What business does an 11-year-old have with anybody? 11. That's crazy. That's the devil's work right there.
Disappear for over a year and you don't do anything about it. I'm not judging the brother's reaction. I don't know how old the brother is, but the mother, I don't know, something's weird. But let's get back into this. So he asked the brother, did you and your family know of your sister being with him? Like she was living with him. All of this ish is so confusing and disgusting. The brother says, I knew and I went to the police about it. Okay, good for you. But the police said there's lack of evidence.
I don't know.
So it was waved off. Can you imagine?
I don't know if that's real or not. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not because we all know that California law enforcement have a history of misconduct. But I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Going to the police about your little sister and it being waved off. So he says to the brother, that's BS. Now that there's 1 billion people backing you, all right, that won't happen again. But if they had listened.
And listen, I want to say, these are alleged. I have not checked fact checked these texts for myself. I'm simply reporting and reacting to what Tisa tells is saying that she believes are real text messages. So this is not my opinion. This is not me representing these messages as being from the actual brother of the decedent. I'm reacting to another creator who's reacting to what somebody else has put out, proclaiming to be, the text messages from the brother. But let's keep going.
Goes in to say that Celeste's brother said, and listen for this because this is so sad and shocking. Celeste's brother says, even if they don't do anything, they haven't even done anything towards him, which is odd that they haven't arrested him, and it's just an ongoing investigation. So he says to him, and I gotta agree, that's how it is with celebrities. Just look at effing Diddy. They don't do ish. And the brother says, Celeste's brother says, the missing 13-year-old brother says, I know it effing sucks. He says to the brother, I know, right? People are crazy. And then he asked him a really important question, okay? He said, effing crazy people suffer for it. How long has she been gone? He said, dead? For about 2 weeks. He says back to Celeste's brother, damn, that soon? People have been saying it's been a month. The dude's a weirdo. His songs all have weird messages and imagery. He then asked his brother, why do you think it happened? Like he just didn't want her to expose him for being with her? Now this kind of stuns Celeste's brother, and he literally gives an answer. He said, I don't know, okay? He says, damn. Was your sister like in love with him and not choosing to stay? I'm guessing it was all him, just manipulating her. Celeste's brother says, yeah, she was always saying that he was waiting till she was 18 to get married and stuff like that. Interviewer says, effing sick. That's crazy. What's crazy is all those people in a circle who knew and didn't say ish. I saw one guy did get sued by him. I'm sure you would have too if you kept pushing. So he was out here suing people. David was out here suing people, exposing him for being a PDF file. Does that sound familiar, class? Does it sound familiar? But it's not over. Now this catches Celeste's brother, throws him for a loop. He said, dog, what? I never knew that. My sister wouldn't say anything, ever. And he was like, dude, there's so much stuff in that Discord he has. The brother is shocked. He said, what the F? There's a Discord? He said, yeah, it was just his fan Discord and stuff. I wasn't in it, obviously, but from what I know, he was decently active in it. And some screenshots and screen recordings were posting today and yesterday after the news showed a guy saying this. So he sends Celeste's brother a screenshot where it says the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas, right? He tells Celeste's brother, 95% sure it's legit someone who was in the server before it was locked, screen recorded them, locking up this message, and it wasn't edited or anything. The brother, Celeste's brothers, WTF, no effing way, dude. Please send me more if you know, dude. He said, I got you, bro. Let me find everything. He said, let me find everything. Because he went out a way of saying so many people were after David. Now they're after this. They found so much evidence to back this ish up. The brother, dude, I never knew this stuff. He goes on to say, the interviewer says only a small number of people were.
It seems like the interviewer is doing more talking and giving more information than the brother at this point. It seems like it's a reverse interview. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be extracting information, not telling him all the tea. You're supposed to be asking, like, what happened in that household, bro? Why was she running away for? You know, how long did your mother know she was dealing with this guy? And why didn't your mother say something? He's not asking these questions. It's like two teenagers are interviewing each other. Oh, yo, oh, word, this your sister, word? Oh, let me tell you all the tea I heard about your sister and David, oh. And he's like, word, word, for reals, shields, for real? Oh, yeah, no doubt, dog. Yeah, I don't know, dog. Oh, man, that's new to me, dog. Come on, man. This is not an interview. Let's keep going.
Aware until today. The brother, I wish I would have known. I could have used this. Arif says, you didn't have your sister added on Discord, right? The brother says, dude, I don't even have a Discord. He then says, all right, that's cool, but this is what I have. And he started sending him screenshots from Celeste's Discord. Look at all this. Look at this. He said, these are photos. And this song was unreleased. He said he's screen recording all this because he wants to prove that this is legit. It hasn't been edited. And he asks, is this your sister? He says, yeah. Heartbreaking words. Yeah, that's my sister, dog. Look at this little girl.
She's baby.
You guys, hold on. Look at this little girl. How did nobody know?
She don't even have no woman in her face, man. You know, when people start to mature, you can see the woman in their face. They turn like 18, 19 girls. You can see the woman grow into their face, 17, 18, the woman growing in their face. She had a baby face. She didn't even have any woman in her face. She was a baby face. He's a pedophile. He is a pedophile. Allegedly, just my opinion, no evidence to back it up, just allegedly. Pedophile, allegedly. Let's keep going.
How did no one know? How did the police
That's a baby face.
ignore this?
Look at that. That's a baby. That is a baby.
Oh my God!
PT file. D4VD might, in my opinion, allegedly be a pedophile.
Oh my God!
How did everybody in the industry's friends that the superstar had around his inner circle, how come nobody said anything? Everybody was fine with this. Everybody knew. Everybody, what? I bet you there was a bunch of people saying, oh my God, she seduced him. Anyway, interestingly enough, there was a kid named Gus who the sister had put a memorial up of the Discord. And the guy was like, yo, you think, he's like, oh yeah, I know Gus is gone. He said, you think like David got rid of him? And he was like, nah, he was shot on some other stuff. You guys, hold on. There was also this resurfaced clip of David from January 11, 2024. It shows him with Celeste on a stream where he tells mods to delete all the videos, right? And clips after he ends the stream. Listen to this. Because, he was leaving breadcrumbs.
Oh, look at answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan. Oh, thank you, Mitochondria?
I gotta stop with him if you even. We need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream?
Next, we're going to hear from a man that works in a jewelry store and what his experience was with Celeste and David.
In a Tesla belonging to David, a popular singer. Today, the body was identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Right when the picture went public of Celeste, I instantly recognized her from 2024 in April when her and David came together to a jewelry shop I used to work at. I remember this moment so vividly because when they came in, there was something off about Celeste. She was very high, and she was with David, who I recognized because he's a popular singer, but she was very obviously younger than him, and she was very out of it. I was helping her out with jewelry, and she was all over the place. So that situation really stuck in my brain, and I really remembered her face. So when her picture was released to the public, I instantly recognized her as the girl that was with David. And the fact that she was found in his trunk, dismembered, is just unbelievably sad and horrific. And my heart just goes out to the family and her friends and everybody who was affected by her death. But there is a lot of questions around this and a lot of unanswered questions. So please find answers.
Here's one way we can find an answer. Look at a video, an outtake of David's video. He was literally dropping Easter eggs the whole time. Look at this. There's something in the trunk of the car being dragged out and in. The smile on your face. Just any crazy stuff. This is from Romantic Homicide. Oh, look at this one. This is David and Celeste on live stream in matching hoodies, okay? They were in the arcade. Look at this. That's her in the bottom corner. She's trying to hide behind David. David is cheesing. Everybody else sees this little girl, and they're applauding. And look at this music video David did, an imaginary relationship, right? But could it be, it looks like he's being tortured by something, right? Looks like he's being tortured by the ghost of someone.
Oh, you saw that? The ghost, bro. The same girl, the ghost. I'm telling you, these artists are strange people, man. They always let their pains come out in their art. Look, it's a ghost.
Could it be? It looks like he's...
I mean, of course, I'm not saying that she's a real ghost. I'm just saying, like, his subconscious is making him do this stuff that's telling us what he did. Look at the ghost, look.
He's being tortured by something, right? Looks like he's being tortured by the ghost.
You see that? He put that in the video for a reason. He's telling on himself. They always do. They always tell on themselves. These artists, they always tell on themselves in their music.
Of someone he did dirty. Let's not forget in that video, Romantic Homicide, where he's explaining the lyrics. There's one thing where he's like, I talk about killing her, not actually, but in my mind. Okay. Let's also not forget this. It makes him look even crazy. Now, don't forget the brother said that she's been gone for about 2 weeks, right? David said, when I was writing this, I got a notie from you. The date is September 17, 2025. That means that she was already gone. As you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and your sister again, take me where I belong. Does that not sound like somebody's ghost saying that? But our circumstances won't allow us to. He says, won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We gotta push through. Does it sound like this man is being haunted by this girl's ghost? I'm being serious, or being torn up by guilt, but also a little crazy. Fool, who is you talking to? Like, oh my God. Anyway, one guy said, this guy is a PDF file. This is in direct response to that tweet David just put up. This guy's a PDF file from what I heard. My sister, who was now in 9th grade, told me that he was dating an 8th grader. Let's call her C. And she would go on trips with him to LA. He says they're all in 9th grade now, and it turns out C's friends knew, and he would pay them to keep their mouth shut. What? C has been missing for over a month now, and no one knows her whereabouts. Definitely something strange going on.
How is he taking her on trips to LA without her parents knowing? This is before she went missing. She was dating this guy for a minute, and the parents didn't care, and I don't care whose feelings I hurt. I'm going to speak the truth. My truth, at least, allegedly. I'm going to speak my truth regardless of whose feelings I hurt. The parents failed this girl. Guys, hit that like button for me, please. Hit that like button, support the channel.
Mind you, this was posted weeks before that body was found in the Tesla. It seemed that everybody knew, and the kids were whispering about it. There's even a picture of him literally paying off kids. Hold on, look at the picture.
Yup.
This is an actual picture of him paying off kids to keep their mouth shut. This little psycho, alleged psycho, really thought he got away with something. Now, there is a chance that he's not involved at all. But as time goes on and the police being so silent, yeah, I don't see it happening. This little guy really thought he was bigger than the program, thought he had money, fame, a good guy thing, and he could get away with it. As lots of people said, these posters have to be telling the truth because no one knew that she was where she was until today. Let's also not forget his posters for romantic homicide. This was his big hit.
All right, so I'm gonna stop this right here because Tisa really going in, but I want you guys to go over to her channel. We reacted to most of this already, so I want you guys to go over to her channel and definitely check out the rest of it. This is crazy. This is nuts, man. Definitely a lot of information going on. Jamie Brooks just upgraded her membership to Patrol. Wow. I think that's it. We're gonna end this one here. I think I do have some lyrics I wanted to go through. But we can go through that at a later date. It's just too much right now. But I do want to list out the songs that are on his album, with this called Withered, which was released in 2025. Listen to these names in the order that it was put. This big shout out to Research Crew. Atomic Land, Sky, Say It Back, Friend Again, Somewhere in the Middle, Crashing, Invisible String Theory, Is This Really Love, Where'd It Go Wrong, Feel It, What Are You Waiting For, One More Dance, Ghost. It sounds like somebody going through an emotional roller coaster and then coming to a stop, to their end point, which is death, which is Ghost. It's almost like he's telling the story of their relationship. On and off again, and then Ghost. I think he knew he was going to get caught. I think he's telling his story on the road to the inevitable. It's just what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. This is a really interesting story. I'm having a good time finding out the details with you guys. We'll stay on top of this. Just know, once again, we're not going to be releasing that many videos as we usually do because I'm going to be working some special assignment at my job. So I'll be working crazy overtime over there for the next week, week and a half. But I will try and squeeze in a show as best I can. So expect maybe 2 shows in the next week instead of 5. We usually do maybe 5 or 6. Well, expect 2 to 3 shows. We'll see how that works, but I'll be very tired, but I'm going to make time for you. Guys, make sure you hit that like button on your way out the door, and then make sure that you check that you're subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed so that we can get into the algorithm and grow this show. You guys are amazing. I love you guys immensely. We'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.